And it says we are live. I'm here. You're beautiful. That must mean it's time for GotBot Goes live. It is Thursday night. Yes, I'm about 5 minutes early. Go figure. Usually I'm late to the game, but 5 minutes early. We have a lot of interesting news to cover tonight. Over the last 2 weeks, we have unearthed an awful lot of rumors slash listings. Some of it listings with actual product codes, but an awful lot of it has been rumor. If I didn't say it was an actual listing, take it with a huge dose of salt. But it looks like we have pretty much laid out all of 2023. If you want a reference guide for multiple lines, Legacy, Studio Series, Rise of the Beast for 2023, go back and watch the last 2 week shows and take some notes. Tonight we go even a step further than that because we're going to look at so much from 2024 up and coming. Plus, we're going to look at a whole bunch of items coming out of Wonder Festival. We're going to talk about the whole Super Bowl spot for Transformers Rise of the Beast, as well as a couple of images of a couple of things, a little bit from X-Transbots, and of course, we'll do trivia and this week's small, but I'm pretty stoked about it, unboxing. Of course, I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you're at it, light up my baby and hit the notification bell. It helps me out a ton, and it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, the Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that in the description down below. Also in the description down below. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course, hit the join button to become a channel member at any given time. Something up and coming for channel members, I believe tomorrow. So, I guess if you are one, stay tuned for that. Let's kind of get things set up to go here. Hope you guys are having a tremendous week. It's been it's been a bit wonky around here. I mean, we always know that my work has been wonky this year, but we had a rather large, like 2-day storm. So a lot of things that I was trying to hopefully get done this week got put aside because between, let's see, this is Thursday, between Tuesday afternoon and Wednesday morning, I spent a total of about 7 hours of snow clearing. And when I wasn't snow clearing, I mean, I was just wiped. If you've ever done, and I don't mean a little bit, I mean like, I think it was around 50 centimeters. Snowmageddon that we had was, I think, 82 centimeters. I don't know what 52 is in inches, but around here we get very high winds with that, so a lot of that gets blown up. Long story short, a lot of my area was knee to waist deep, so shoveling all that was a lot of work and very tiring. Let's check in with you guys here. Hey Survive Fan, hey Big M, Brian, hey Marcus, hey Xander, hey Jay. Dealing with usual Mississippi severe weather in the air. I don't know what severe weather Mississippi has. I'm assuming it's not snow, but winds, rain. I don't know what Mississippi has. Survive Fan, love that Super Bowl spot. I mean, let's do the Super Bowl spot now. I don't have any reaction to it. I saw it and I was like, it's 30 seconds and it's pretty much all mirage. We saw Primal beat his chest. We saw Optimus like point his blaster. I think we saw Bumblebee's wings come out. And I think while Mirage was driving, I think we saw Cheetor kind of going around and past. We saw Mirage as a Porsche, and we saw the holograms he can make of himself, and we saw him as a robot. I don't know. I don't buy it as Mirage, but I do kind of like the colors. The colors being blue and silvery. I would have preferred white, but blue and silvery are at least Mirage-ish colors. I'll also mention this now. We saw after that a reveal, really, I guess, of the renders for his Studio Series offering. Input wasn't a fan of it. I'm okay with it. I do feel like there's a fair amount of junk maybe on the legs that are car pieces, and it looks like the doors kind of hang off his hips as wings, a la the Generations Drift slash Generations Blur mold, where the doors were kind of on the hips. I don't hate it, but it's not the Mirage for me. That's all I'm going to say about that. Like, if I wasn't told that that was Mirage, there's not one thing about it that would make me say that's Mirage. Like with Optimus, you can look at it, like that's Optimus, right? But with Mirage, it's just another one of those examples, very much like Bayverse stuff, where I'd look at it and be like, I don't see anything that says that that's Mirage. So if you do, cool. But when I watched it, I was like 30 seconds, and outside of focusing on the fact that Mirage is a Porsche, it wasn't really like, I felt like it was more like a Porsche commercial than a Transformers Rise of the Beast commercial. So take that for what you will. I wasn't blown away by it. I wasn't disappointed by it. I was just like, okay, so you spent Super Bowl money on this? All right, whatever. You do what you're gonna do, man. You do what you're gonna do. I saw that Jay got a baby Grimlock. From what I've heard, the cores, maybe even the deluxes, are showing up. Definitely the cores are showing up at Targets in the US. I did hear a couple of reports of the cores being Grimlock, Thundercracker, and Nemesis Prime showing up at a couple of Walmarts in Canada, but I can't confirm it. It certainly hasn't been ours. We haven't gotten any new stock in Walmart in a long time. But Jay has found it in the wild. Let's see. Oh, that jumped down. Let's see. Hey, input. Hey, Maximal Tent. Okay, you're at your grandparents'. That's okay, cool. Emergency alerts pop up. Oh, okay. Well, be careful out there. Tornado warnings. Oh, yeah, that's not fun. I can't imagine what those are like, but stay safe. Hurt my back shoveling out friend's driveway. I hear you, man. I hear you. And it don't get easier the older we get, man. Hey, Deceptibot. Glad you're here, buddy. Hey, Anthony. Corporate man. Can we make these live streams for less money? Creator. We're already doing it for free. Corporate man. How does that get our shareholders another yacht? That's exactly the way the corporate man would think. Man, I gotta do so much more with that. I really do. Hey, Waspinator. Thought the spot was fine. Yeah, I thought the spot was fine. That's just it. I didn't hate it. I didn't have a hate on for it. It was neat to see Primal and Prime and stuff, but like, it didn't, because I was left feeling that it was more of a Porsche commercial than a movie commercial and a movie trailer. I guess I was like, bless you, Starscream. I guess it was like, okay, like it's one of those things, like, it exists in the world and I'm indifferent to it. Take that for what you will. It did not jack me up to see the film in June, and I thought that was really going to be the point of doing a big spot at the Super Bowl, was to really kick that off, and it didn't do that for me. Pete Davidson from the Suicide Squad does Mirage's voice. Yeah, I only learned out who he was like a month ago, and I've never seen the Suicide Squad, so he doesn't mean anything to me. Hey, Joel. I like the Studio Series design much better than the CGI model in the movie. I like the head of the Studio Series infinitely more. I thought the head of the Studio Series Mirage looked really cool. I was like, you know what? That's a really cool head. And I think like you, Deceptibot, I think I actually prefer the Studio Series design over the CGI, but I'd need to see more of the CGI to really be sure about that. My thoughts on Beast Mode Bumblebee? Nothing. I don't have any thoughts on Beast Mode Bumblebee. I don't care. I'm Bumblebee'd out. I don't care if Bumblebee exists, doesn't exist. If they write him off, I don't care. If they decide to clone him, I don't care. I don't care about Bumblebee. And I never did. Like, to be fair, I know, like, since I've been 6, which is the age I was when Transformers came on, since I've been 6, I've never liked Bumblebee. I have no use for him. I've always just found him annoying. I'm not a Bumblebee guy. I'm sorry, Xander. I'm not a Bumblebee guy. So Beast Bumblebee doesn't. I don't care. That's the best I can say to you, man. It's not. Yeah, it's not my thing, I guess. Best I can say to you. So we go down here a bit more. I like the SS Mirage, says Jay. I don't mind the kibble. It shows that it transforms well. I got myself Minerva. Hey, good for you, man. Minerva's great. Don't bother with Toys R Us for anything new. Eye rolls. Yeah. Our Toys R Us has like no orders apparently. Ultra Megatronus. Hey, Brian. If I didn't already say it, hey. Big M finally picked up Point Blank. He was disappointing. There's a lot about him to like. Don't get me wrong, but the things that are wrong with him are like glaring, and the things that are wrong with him, I felt like were things I looked at and said, that's because you cut costs. That's because you cut costs. That's because you cheaped out. Like, it didn't need to be that way. It didn't need to be that way. Like, that's the way I felt. I didn't feel like there were design limits because something was difficult. I felt like the compromises that were made on Point Blank were deliberately made to cheap out. And they said, it's good enough. And that's too bad because there's a lot of potential there. I love the transformation, the way the arms transform for the hood. Love it. I think it's brilliant. That's why I take pictures in store. I've already been accused of being a thief. It says Jay's not. Jay just has the magic touch. My Walmart here in Los Angeles has nothing new for ages, but then last week they had all the Legacy Evolution Wave 1 Deluxes. I mean, our Walmart still has a few Legacy RCs. I think there might be I think there might be a Skids on there. Like, it didn't go past that. It just didn't go past that this past year. Walmart was abysmal, I got to say. Hey, Sean C. Hey, Dragonfly. Hey, what? The Felon? Hey, Felon. Was there ever a Target Canada in Newfoundland? Who gets Target exclusives in Canada? There was on a road called Stavanger Drive, and it was in a building that used to have Zellers in it. And it was there were 135 Targets in Canada, if I'm not mistaken. And ours was apparently the most profitable in Atlantic Canada and one of a handful that were very profitable. I really feel like Target had a lot of things going against it when it opened, not the least of which was really being attacked by Walmart and Toys R Us. And then they had like a fiasco with the red card and stuff. They didn't have their distribution channels set up. It was a rocky start, and they never recovered. I really think instead of totally pulling out, what they should have done is scale back to just the number of stores that were making profit. I would give up the 3, at the time it was 4. I would give up the 3 Walmarts we have now to have our 1 Target back. I found it infinitely better and infinitely more enjoyable shopping experience. Now, things that tend to be Target exclusives go to Toys R Us and are quite overpriced. Like, for example, the Toy Accurate Pterosaur. Okay, we all know that one, right? It was just like the version that was on Amazon, except now it's done in its Toy Accurate colors, right? Or the blue streak or silver streak, I think it was called, the buzzworthy stuff, right? They're deluxes, $45 here. Cup, the buzzworthy cup, $45 here. So like, we get them, but like, it's not fun. It's not fun. I miss Target. Honestly, you guys always say in the US, say, we miss Toys R Us. Don't. Our Toys R Us is as bad as what yours was when it went out of business. But I miss Target all the time. Got my Bumblebee Garage Bumblebee RPM Basic in the mail today from eBay. Okay, well, I hope you enjoy it, man. I love that Battle Charger Bumblebee, so Xander likes it. Let's see. Hey, Lance. I think Mirage was supposed to be Jazz, and they changed for whatever reason. Yeah, I think you're right. I agree with you. Hey, Paul. Holy moly. I hate when the thing jumps down because it's so hard to try and find where I was. Man, that jumped down a lot. It was about here. Hey, BS Prime. I still don't own a Bumblebee, but Bumblebee in G1 wasn't a huge figure. You're not missing much. Pete also on SNL. Yeah, I know SNL Saturday Night Live, but like I haven't watched Saturday Night Live since early 90s. I didn't even know it was still on the air, to be honest with you. Need to do some Legacy Machine Wars bots. I gotta be honest, I don't know anything about Machine Wars. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know any of the characters. It wasn't here. Machine Wars wasn't a thing that was here. It might have been Canada, but it wasn't. Machine Wars wasn't here. I don't ever, until maybe the last 2 or 3 years, I don't ever remember even hearing tell of Machine Wars. I don't have any tie to it. I don't want any of those oddly named characters that look nothing like themselves. It wouldn't be for me, but I've come to realize that it doesn't have to be for me, right? So, like, if, for example, Felon wants Machine Wars bots, and like I say, I hope you get it. Honestly, I hope you get it. I won't buy it. I don't need it, but I hope you get it because you want it. Hey, John. Got to admit, I like the Beast Wars Bumblebee with the lifted suspicion. What? Beast Wars Bumblebee? I don't know a Beast Wars Bumblebee, but okay. Hey, my Hunter, or NY Hunter, sorry. I knew it was Ken. Transitioning to using my channel for the time now. Yeah, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. I'm never gonna remember though that it's you, Ken. I know I won't. I'll still end up saying NY Hunter. I might just end up saying Hunter because that sounds cool. Hunter. That was a great TV show, by the way. Alt mode Cybertron Bumblebee is this one time that he liked B. What? Alt mode Cybertron Bumblebee is his one time that I don't know. Was there a what? I don't know what you're talking about, Ultra Megatronus. I'm sorry. I saw Minerva in the Wild a couple of times. Let's see. When I want the Toys R Us, I saw 2 Titan class Metroplexes. Yeah, I mean, we have the Titan class Metroplex here too. $350 plus tax. No. GameStop had the exact same Metroplex. Regular price $269. So why is it $269 GameStop and $350 at Toys R Us? That's insane. At Earthspark Terran Twitch, Titans Return Voyager Soundwave. No, Titans Return didn't have a Voyager Soundwave. Titans Return had a Leader class Soundwave. Takara Legend Scourge and Noble. No, Savage and Noble. Oh yeah, cool. And KFC Evil Reinhorn to my collection. Oh, okay, I don't know the KFC one. I'm assuming it's a Ramhorn. They chiefed out on all the Target Masters. Yes, they did. There was no need for them to not have knees or elbows. You're right. There's a Toys R Us in Cincinnati, Ohio. They may have changed the Jazz name to Mirage because they already killed off Jazz. Although I'm sure somebody will argue and say like, this is a different universe than that. They're all going to become the one. Come on, they're all going to become the one. All you need is a multiversal singularity. Boom, it all brings it all together. Been a while since I've seen my Walmart toy section. I doubt you're missing much if it's anything like it is here. There's an upgrade kit that gives point. Yeah, again, but we shouldn't need. Look what we're paying for, man. That point blank is $40 here. No, I shouldn't need an upgrade kit to make it right. You should have just made the product right, man. Everybody always says there's upgrade kits that like double the price of something. We shouldn't need that. That's a bad precedent to accept. It's a bad thing to say. It's a bad excuse to give. Demand more from Hasbro, not just Hasbro, whatever company you deal with for anything. If it's a video game company and they give you a 3-hour game, demand more. For what you pay for a video game, you deserve more than a 3-hour experience. You know what I mean? Favorite combiner is the Protectobots for Xander. Finished Menasor, and I'm very. I'm. I mean, I done the comparison. I still prefer the combiner wars myself. I didn't think I was going to be in on the legacy, and I got the legacy done, and I'm very underwhelmed by it. I miss Kmart. I miss Kmart too. I agree with you there. I know the feeling. Just got another 5 filler kit to improve figures, including right. Like it's neat to be able to get the filler kit. You shouldn't need it, man. Go into Cobra Commander mode. I didn't mention the point blank upgrade kit as an excuse. I literally went on to say we shouldn't have to. Yeah, I know, but like as soon as I see that, and I know that you mean well, and I know everybody means well, and I think it's great that these kits exist to be able to rectify what should have been done right. But I think that we're treading on dangerous territory when we automatically assume, well, I'm going to buy this and then I'm going to buy an upgrade kit. Like that, there's a problem there. Why are we not? Why is that our thinking? Why aren't we thinking they should make the product right before I spend my money on it? Why are we letting them off with that? That's what I don't understand. And I guess I'm somebody who is letting them off less and less with that because I'm always buying less and less. Best Buy for Black Friday had Black Zarek. Yeah, we don't. Our Best Buy doesn't carry any of that stuff, unfortunately. Cybertronian Bumblebee, I sent you when you didn't see it at your Walmart at the time. Oh, do you mean the Origins Bumblebee? That wouldn't have been at Walmart. That was Target exclusive. That was Buzzworthy. Is that the one you mean? The Origins Bumblebee? I don't know what you mean Cybertronian Bumblebee. Do you mean the Origins one? It's getting very discouraging with certain Transformers like Minerva, Cosmos. I assume you mean Crasher and Galaxy Shuttle. So difficult to find. Galaxy Shuttle's easy to find here. He's rotting on the shelves because he's $80. Wonder if Hasbro has stocks in the company that make upgrade kits. Possibly. Wouldn't shock me. Though I've grown Though I've grown a love for Machine Wars Optimus Prime design, which is a reuse of Euro G1 Thunderclash and was the first case of. Okay, I don't know Machine Wars. I don't know anything about Machine Wars. I know they use the G1 names, but like I've seen like, I know that there's a Mirage and I know that there's a Megatron and I know that there's a Starscream and I look at it, I'm like, that looks nothing like any of those characters. So for me, I automatically don't like it. They're already established. They have a look. I don't like change. Simple as that. That's just me. Jay says CW Minosaur is grade A trash. See, I don't agree. I mine's great, and it's way more solid than the Legacy. My Legacy, the legs like to come off, and the shoulder part of Dead End won't stay on to save my life. But my Combiner Wars, I mean, I can knock that thing over on the floor. I've dropped it, and I have one wrist that comes out. Otherwise, it's solid as attack. I think the Combiner Wars is infinitely like. When I've done the comparison, I was objective, and they both have strengths and weaknesses. Subjectively, I think the Combiner Wars is infinitely better than the Legacy. I don't think the Legacy is very good. I don't find it stable. I don't find it holds a pose very good. The ratchets are too heavy on it. I don't really like the Legacy, and I don't like the fact that it's not a combiner. It's just a dude wearing clothes. I gotta disagree with you, Jay. I think the Combiner Wars is grade A. I think the Legacy is kind of trash. Certainly for being 3 times the cost. It's not for me. If it's for you, cool. But I think it's a big step backwards. Walmart put Galaxy Shuttle on clearance when they never had them in stock. That sounds like something that they would do. Finishing the new Minosaur definitely helped make a decision in the future combiners. Yeah, I didn't like it. It wasn't for me. Toy companies repaint old toys. Game companies remaster since they're old games. Well, I mean, that's how they get you on nostalgia, right? My Legacy Minosaur snaps on tight. Nothing comes off. Well, yay. But like, it's not good, Jay. I'm sorry. I can't agree with you. If you've had a good experience, I'm happy for you. But I can't at all, even slightly, a little bit agree with you. I don't enjoy anything about it. I don't enjoy the transformations. I don't like putting things on. I don't like trying to take it off. The arm gimmick just plain doesn't work. I'm waiting for a peg to break off, trying to get Wild Rider off. Breakdown just doesn't look like Breakdown. Motormaster's terrific. And as a set of Stunticons, they are more successful. As a Menosaur, the Combiner Wars is easier, more enjoyable. Not the stock. You'd have to make a couple of fixes on it for sure. But once you made the couple of fixes I made, I'm sorry, it's just better. It's just better with the fixes. And I don't mean upgrade kits. I done a couple of simple fixes. But I mean, you do you. If you're happy with the Legacy one, then keep the Legacy one. Heads up to my to my Gold State home brothers and sisters and siblings. Peter Prime in TFCon this year in Bourbon. I don't even know what he's saying. If you can make sense out of what Blue Raccoon is saying, they're cool. I don't have literally one clue what he was saying. CW Minister with the PE upgrades is better than the Legacy version. I don't know. I don't have the PE upgrades. I didn't need them either. I don't know. I mean, to each their own. That's why I said that it depended on what you were looking for in a Menosaur. Legacy isn't what I'm looking for enough that I don't want to do any other combiners in that style. I don't think it's good. Like, I'm happy to keep my Combiner Wars ones because I don't think Legacy, for the cost that it was, I don't think Legacy Menosaur is that good of a success. Great Stunticons, just not a great combiner. Things on some of the bots were super tight for me, Motormaster especially. Peter Cullen, yeah, TFCon this year. Yeah, Peter Cullen's gonna be at TFCon LA, as is like literally I'm to the point with TFCon LA that they're so stacked that it's almost ridiculous. Over like what, 2 or 3 days? How are you fitting all of these panels in? Because you've announced like 100 people. I've never been to one of these cons, so I don't know exactly how big they are, but I can't imagine where all of these panels fit in for the multitude of guests. Is it only 2 or 3 days? Am I wrong? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I can't speak to it because I don't really know it. Machine Wars was just filler, short-lived filler, and was pretty forgettable. I mean, it got its fans. Everything got its fans, right? Yeah, it is part of the new Survive fans, so stop ruining it. But I didn't understand what he was saying. I don't get young people talk. Why would you get Skyquake from Evolution as a movie Starscream? Just get the movie Starscream. It's out there in Survivor Series. Studio Series. That's because I saw Survive in there. Why would you get the Skyquake and do it as a Starscream? Like, the movie Starscream's out there, man. But you know, whatever. Legacy Dead End is so frustrating to me. I'd love if the feet on mine properly came together. A lot of people got that complaint. Heads up. Oh, that I went up too far. I'd like to see if there were I'd like to see if there were going to be a KO of the Legacy Minosaur like my AOI Studios. There might be, you know, it's probably worth a KO. Hey, I could actually go. Oh, really? If you could go, then man, go. California Golden State. Oh, see, I wouldn't know that. I'm not American. I wouldn't know that California is the Golden State. Do all states have something like that? Is everything a something state? And I'm asking legitimately because I'm not American. I don't know. CW is not screen accurate, and I'm crazy with screen accuracy, Jay. So that could tell you something. I'm the guy who has a shirt in his merch store that says "Cartoon is King," and I'm telling you, I don't like the Legacy Menasor, and I think it's a failure. That's how bad I think it is. That it's animation accurate, and I don't think it's as good as the one that's not animation accurate. So that should tell you all you need to know about my thoughts on that. Hey, Bill. I did not watch Picard season 3, episode 1. I have been, if I haven't been at work, I've been snow shoveling. No, I will. I will. I don't even know if it's come on yet, because here it comes on Space Network or CTV Sci-Fi channel. It is now. I don't know when it premieres on that though, but it's on my like recordings. So whenever episode 1 is there, yeah, I'm going to start watching it. So I don't know what you watch it on where you live, but here it'll be on Space, and I know it starts in February, but I don't know. I probably this week. It's probably already done. You're right. I haven't had a chance to look to see if it's there. But rest assured, I will, because I can't wait. It's true that Legacy took a shortcut or two near the end, but I'm pretty glad to have it. I wasn't going to get it for a guy who loves the oversized Magic Square best. I never gone to any two, no. Got about thoughts of Legacy Stunticons, Junkyard Scrap, Optimus Prime Revenge of the Fallen. You're the only person I know that says the CW. Well, I'm the only person. Yeah, but Jay, I'm the only person who's honest. Everybody else is like a corporate shill looking to be like, oh, this is so great. Here, use my code to go and buy something. I'm just going to tell you the way it is. It's as simple as that. Ohio is the Buckeye state. I don't know what a Buckeye is, but okay. Cool, I guess. And the guys are in Oregon. I heard from a crazy source the War for Cybertron trilogy on Pluto TV so far, not there nor on demand. No, but I did hear that you can buy the War for Cybertron Kingdom, the whole digital thing, from Vudu or iTunes or Amazon Video. Okay, we've been here a whole bunch of time. We're going to fly through, because you guys have been chatty this evening. We're going to fly through the news. Let's do this. So, Rise of the Beast Studio Series Mirage, we've already talked about what that is and what it is like. I do love its head sculpt. I'll give it that. It's a licensed Porsche 911 Carrera. Interestingly, it is described as standing 4.5 inches instead of 5 inches, and what used to be 5.5 inches for Deluxe. So now Deluxe has gone from 5.5 inches down to 4.5 inches in the product descriptions. 24 steps. What else do we have here? T-Formers has a video up of the Trumpeter B. I talked about the Trumpeter B last week. It's basically something that stands about 5 inches. It is $30 US. It has 70 points of articulation. Go to T-Formers, watch the video. It's amazing, everything that moves on it, and the wild range of motion that model kit has. And it does look like it's pretty solid. I wondered last week how solid it was, and then boom, the video came up. And you know what? It's pretty darn solid. Voyager Studio Series Cheetor, Input hates it. I think it's okay. It's definitely a stylized Cheetor. It's the size of Tigatron. By the way, mine turned yellow, Input. But I feel like if you take this Cheetor and compare it to the other Cheetors that we've had, this one is better. Then the only other one that is as good is the original Beast Wars, because the classics and the Kingdom and the Netflix, all of them utter garbage. Poor Cheetor, man. He gets a raw deal. This one at least looks like it has the potential to be a solid Cheetor, even if probably a little bigger than he should be. I think it's a success. Just odd looking. Let's see. We talked about that. Kingdom. Coming out of Wonder Festival. Let's do the Wonder Festival stuff. We saw from Flame Toys a whole bunch of stuff for the Kurokara Curry line. Namely, we saw Jazz, a very stylized Jazz, by the way, who will be $310 US. Coming out in October. He does have the door wings, but the door wings can come off, okay, and go on his forearm. So if you want your Jazz with the door wings, you can have it from Flames Toys. If you don't want it with the door wings, cool, take them off. Also, We also saw this week a Kurokara Curry God Power Jet Armor. In other words, it is the big jet wing Optimus Prime. Now, Input saw it and talked about how amazing looking it was, and I agree with him. I would put it up there with the look of the Victory Saber that they did. It is stupendous. It is angular. It is sharp. Now, these jet parts are just that, parts. They're not a jet fire. They're just parts to go on that Optimus Prime. How articulated is this? How solid is this? I have no idea. But if the Victory Saber is any indication, then this thing is something to be displayed and then never ever touched. Take that for what you will. But it does look amazing. Again, those pictures are up on tformers.com. Also coming out of Wonder Festival 2023, we had like hold on, going to that. We had those soft vinyl things. I don't get the appeal of these. Like, for example, last year they did a Devastator. This year they're doing Devastator again. The articulation is limited, if not nil. And last year, I think he had an animation accurate head. This one has a toy accurate head. There's like an all gray version of Omega Supreme for some reason. They took the blaster from last year and they've done a repaint to make it Shattered Glass Blaster. They took the Soundwave from last year, done a repaint to make it Shattered Glass Soundwave. It's all repaints basically from the 2022 stuff. I don't know. I guess if you want that sort of thing, cool. And threezero showed off their premium Nemesis Prime. The dude is going to stand 19 inches in height, so he's basically the size of a Titan with, get this, 140 points of articulation. He will have change out faces and hands. He's got LEDs, a bunch of die cast. His body type looks like Optimus from Rise of the Beasts, basically, or I guess from the Bumblebee movie, because they're kind of the same thing. It's that body type. So if you like that, like kind of Studio Series 86-ish body type, 38 body type, then cool, I guess. You know, if you like that Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime body type, then this Nemesis Prime is neat. I do not know what the price is, but with 140 points of articulation, die cast, and standing the size of a Titan, the thing got to be pricey. Got to be pricey, I would think. I mean, I guess I could be wrong, but I would think. We also saw some images this week of the classic hero Starscream. I don't know. It's a little chibi kind of Starscream, exceedingly limited in articulation. Maybe some people will like it. I don't understand its existence, but you know, I guess if you're into maybe rescue bots, this looks like it could sort of kind of fit in with rescue bots, maybe. So to each their own. I mean, if you like it, then cool, I guess. I suppose. Why not? Let's see. X-Transbots showed off their version of Blades for their Defensor. Very clean robot, very clean helicopter. The little skids can either have, I guess, wheels on them or not to be either animation accurate or toy accurate. Very clean arm. The only concern I have is it looks like the peg, I'll call it for lack of a better term, that holds the actual helicopter blades on. That looks kind of thin to me and stuck off quite a bit. I would be interested to know how robust that plastic is, because my fear would be that that would crack off. That's the only concern I got. Hopefully it's robust plastic. I really wouldn't know. We talked about the Rise of the Beast Super Bowl ad. It was quick. It focused on, I wrote down jazz. I said it was jazz focused. It was Mirage focused. Otherwise, it was just like a bunch of cameo clips. I don't know. I expected something more. Not that I didn't like it. It's just I expected something more. Hey, remember when I reported about that animatronic Optimus Primal from Rise of the Beast? Well, we have a little more information, and that information is that apparently the animatronic Optimus is in warehouses in the US, just waiting to distribute and ship out. I would imagine that will happen soonish. I don't know, next few days, next few weeks, I would guess, if you want that. By the way, that thing is somewhat remote controlled. It's supposed to be like a watered down version of the RoboSyn Optimus Prime, except now it's primal. It'll be smaller, it'll be a bit simpler, but it's that same sort of idea from what I understand. Let's see, Origins Jazz. So last week, Gabriel was on here and he kept saying that the Origins Jazz was an upgrade. And I said, it's not an upgrade, it's a completely different thing. Now we have a little more information. And it might be an upgrade. Maybe Gabriel was right all along, and I hope Gabriel actually sees this. And here's why I say maybe Gabriel was right all along. One, this Jazz comes with his grappling hook, and the grappling hook can actually store underneath, out of the way, in vehicle mode. It can also go attached to his traditional blaster, and it is blast effects compatible, as is his blaster, as are the thrusters on the back of, I guess, the alt mode, the car mode. The hover car mode. Sorry. His blaster is, well, his blaster. The jets are compatible. But here's the thing. The thighs, no hollowness. They're solid all the way around. The forearms, no hollowness. Solid all the way around. This is a premium deluxe. Plus the door can open and the roof can go up. They show it in one of the pictures with a Titan, with a Target Master, with a Siege Battle Master. I'm curious if a smaller bot, a Battle Master, or even a Titan Master would be able to fit inside Jazz. Very curious about that. So you know what? Gabriel might have been right all along. Maybe this is an upgrade. It certainly gets rid of a lot of the hollowness, which was a problem with the 86. So take that for what you will. We're through all of that. And we're down through that. We already talked about Cullen being at TFCon. Breakdown. We spoke about Breakdown earlier. We all know Jay adores Breakdown, thinks he's the bee's knees, but Breakdown's instructions are wild. When I reviewed Breakdown, I said Legacy Evolution with a question mark because his instructions said Legacy Evolution. However, there is a variant out in Europe where it just says Legacy, and they're purpley like the Legacy line. And then for the, I'm going to say the box set in China, those purpley Legacy instructions are on glossy paper and they show the leg transformation. So there's a lot of variation to the Breakdown instructions. Maybe instead of putting the money into doing a bunch of different types of instruction printings, you should have put some of that money into remolding the front end. Just a suggestion. Magic Square showed off their super deformed Chromia. She looks cute, I guess, if you like the super deformed chibi stuff. She'll look good next to their super deformed RC and Nightbird. She does transform into a little motorcycle alt mode a la her Generations look, right? That was a motorcycle alt mode. And I sorta, kinda, really, sorta, very much dig it. Now we have all of the leaks. I am going to go in and check with you guys again, and then we're going to do all of the leaks, the trivia, and this week's little unboxing. We're going to get at it. Actually, I'm going to give you the trivia now. I'm going to give you the trivia now. We'll do the leaks, the unboxing, and get out of here. Let's do the trivia right now. In the movie, we were introduced to the character of Kranix. In the 86 movie, we were introduced to the character of Kranix. What is Kranix's job? Is he A, a scientist? Is he B, a construction worker? Is he C, a scientist's assistant? Or is he D, an officer? What was Kranix's job on Lithone? Is he a scientist, a construction worker, a scientist assistant, or an officer? I'm going to go up. You guys put your answers in. I'm going to go up in the comments, and I'll work my way back down there, and then we'll do the leaks and the unboxing, and then we'll get out of here. Let's see here. Let's see. A Cybertron trilogy on Pluto. Yeah, I don't know if it's on there or not. I wouldn't go looking for Cybertron trilogy that hard. Kildea, we're always chatty. You are always chatty, but some weeks more than others. And you know what? I wouldn't want it any other way. I've said it a billion times, man. This is a community, and a huge part of that is you guys. Absolutely. You guys are the show, right? Use my code to go and buy something. But it's true. Like, I even got a couple of I guess affiliates, but like, do I ever mention it really to you guys? It's very rare I put anything up. in a lot of the videos, I have a like get yours here, but that's it. It's there if you want it. If you don't, cool, whatever. But like, I don't know. I don't feel good shilling people. It's not my thing. It's just it's never been my thing. Can't wait for Dennis to bash Earthspark toys. I doubt it's going to happen, really, Ultra Megatronus. I'm not really planning on getting much in the way of Earthspark toys. Like, I don't need another Optimus. I don't need another Megatron. I don't need another Bumblebee. They're instantly out. You got to understand that to buy just those three at the prices that they have now would be $120 plus tax. Like, no, that's not right. Three of those would be $90 plus tax. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm not paying $100 to review something that I don't need. It was different when they were $10, $12, $15. Like, you know, me having to go and spend $40 or $45. Yeah, okay, I pick up anything. If I don't like it, I'll sell it for $2 or $3. Boom, good. But I'm not spending $100. Like, I'm sorry, Hasbro. Like, they're pricing me out is what is happening, right? What? I'm the People's Socialist of Eugene. Wait, Eugene, Oregon? Ah, you know what's really funny? The Everything Factor. My book that I wrote many, many moons ago now is a very much a globe-trotting adventure, and I do spend part of the book in Oregon, in Eugene, as a matter of fact. Well, I don't, but the character in the book does. Let's see, dude. The fist click on the fist click on Legacy Menasor. Nothing CW has that. And they pose like trash. No, my CW pose fine. I've used them for stop motion. They pose just fine. The Legacy Menasor doesn't pose any better or any worse than any of my CW. If he's not balanced exactly right, he's gonna fall over. He's not sturdy. And what do you mean his wrist click? I don't want him to click. They're too heavy. I go to turn his wrist and dead end falls off. Like, I'm sorry, that's not a success to me. That's a failure. But you know what moves like butter? The wrist swivel of my combiner wars. Plus, he has fingers. Like, I'm sorry, you're not going to sell me on the Legacy being better. You're just not. I gave it a chance. I bought them all. I reviewed them all. I even done a very fair review, an objective review in the comparison. But subjectively, not a snowball's chance in hell that you're going to sell me on the combiner, on the Legacy Menasor being better when it's not. It's just not. It's always nice to chat with you and confuse you on occasion. That happens sometimes too. You don't know as much as I do. I at least know. I don't care. Survive, fan, go then. Like, I don't care. And no, I don't care about Machine Wars. You go, dude. Massachusetts, where I live, is the Bay State. There you go. I'm learning all these things about states. I prefer confusing Dennis with weird transformations. Oh, he does too. Need an oversized Legacy Menasor, something with the same height as CJ. Why? Why would you need a Menasor that's the height of Omega Supreme when he wasn't the height of Omega Supreme? I don't get the oversized stuff either. I don't know, man. I don't get you guys. I mean, you get what you want, but like, I've always been curious as to the, how can I put this, interest, I suppose, that people have for the oversized stuff when it's the size of the Titan stuff. I don't know. I guess I'm a stickler for scale, and I want my Titans to be bigger, and that's just me. And it's just one of those things. I don't understand the logic behind it, but I know a lot of people who do it. Like, I've talked about Justin from the 3D Corner a bunch of times. He always wants his bots oversized like that too. I think that his intention, though, is to be MP scaled, and maybe that's your intention too. I don't know. You ever come up here to replay toys? Let's see. Agree with the Cheetors Saturday when my SS Cheetor gets here. I hope you enjoy your Studio Series Cheetor, man. I really do. I was hoping, but no luck yet. It's strange seeing what companies like statues. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of statues either. Kuro is the color black in Japanese. I didn't know that. Scale is important to me since I'm all in on my collection for that. Me too. So I don't know why you want it oversized. That's what I don't get. I don't know why, but the SS Cheetor reminds me of Transmetal 2 Cheetor. I can see that. NFTs are garbage. I agree. I'm always there with Jeff and Abe. It's the South Park town. Okay, I don't know what you guys talking about, but okay, cool. The vinyl things are special because they can only be produced for one day. They make as many as they can for that one day, and that's all they sell. Is that special though? They're still junk. Why don't you just not waste the money making them? Boom, there you go. Make a good product. That's what I would say. Like I saw them and I was like, that looks awful. I wouldn't spend 5 cents on that. But maybe you would. I don't know. I want the things to. I've talked about before. I want the things to move. I'm no good for something that's not going to move. That's a lot of movement for Evil Prime. It is a lot of movement for Evil Prime. 3.0 equals giant Barbie doll. Okay. Toys King. No, it's not input. I may get Rescue Bots Chase to give him and other Law Bots a spin off, but not for me. One for my family members wanted to be stronger in a fanfic. Okay. Thanks, Phil. Take care, buddy. Sovereign says like and share and all that good stuff. Thank you. I appreciate it, buddy. Cybertron Jazz would be great. What if Jazz is a dustbuster? You know what's funny, Sovereign? I've often thought the same thing, that he looks like a vacuum, like a dustbuster. And I thought I was the only one, so I've never said it out loud. But you're right. I thought that since I was a little kid. Hey, Snell, anyone know? Yeah, where to get what? Anyone know when that DX9 Gabriel is going to be in stock on BBTS? Nope. But enjoy once he comes up. I was talking about music. I'll probably get it if he has a good show. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about, but okay, cool. A6 Jazz has way more issues than its hollowness. It does, but the hollowness is certainly one of them. A friend and I were talking about our wish for Cybertron Wheeljack. How do you think he'd have to be to fit being? How big do I think he'd have to be to fit B in the back? Traditional leader class, traditional like the size of like Six Shot or Overlord. I don't see an avenue of fitting B in the back sensibly. Yeah, I'm not hoping for that because I don't need it that big, and that would be the robot would be wildly out of scale. But input doesn't like 86 Jazz. There's a breakdown in the regular Legacy. Yeah, I mean the outside box for my breakdown, Jay, said just Legacy, but then the instructions said Legacy Evolution. So I don't know, co-branded, I guess. Love seeing Stratosphere. Yeah, we saw Stratosphere, but again, if you remember the leaks that I shared regarding the film, unless they're wrong, and they could be wrong, but unless they're wrong, Stratosphere is that plane that flies him into Peru, and that's it. That's his thing. He talks a little bit, I think, but he's basically the submarine from the last night. Like it's a transformer that doesn't transform. I hope that's wrong, but I don't believe for a second that that's wrong. But I hope that's wrong. Man, jump down again. I really gotta go back up. Hey Albert. Okay, so C A C scientist B easy. I think it's C B C C A C H. Input with H. Oh, input. I've already thought up my intro for that live stream that we're supposed to be doing up and coming. Oh, I've already thought up my intro for that for you, buddy. No idea for 100. Going A robot. No, does anyone think the Nemesis will be no, I don't think the Nemesis will be a Triptychon because we have Triptychon. It'll just be a Nemesis. And I would argue that the Triptychon we have is already the Nemesis. I don't see a point in doing the Nemesis. There you go. I kind of tricked you guys a little bit because Krenix is both A and C. In some adaptations of the 86 movie, especially in comic books, especially IDW, he was a scientist. In fact, there's another Lithon, I can't remember his name now, who brings like chemicals and stuff over to Krennic. However, in the actual 86 movie, that guy and Krennic are both scientist assistants, and it's Krennic who brings the chemicals over to the scientist instead of being the scientist receiving the chemicals. So A, he's a scientist, could be right. B, he's a, or C, he's a scientist assistant, could also be right. You guys basically got it all right. Go you. I can get rid of this and this. All right. Let's get into those leaks. I already asked the question. I'm not going back over it. It was what was Krennic's job? We already got that with Titan's Return. Like Earthspark, Megatron, and what? Like Earthspark, Megatron, and Bumblebee Prime looks like an oversized core class. It does. You're right. To answer another commenter, I don't know if they are on Pluto, but the Unicron trilogy is on Tubi. There you go. I think it was Blue Raccoon. So Blue Raccoon, look for the Unicron trilogy on Tubi, buddy, if that's what you're looking for, according to Deceptibot. In the 86 movie, what job did the character of Krennic have? Nothing falls off your Menasor. You still back on Menasor, Jay? You're not going to sell me on it. Yay, you. I'm glad you got a good copy. Mine's not. I'm very unimpressed with it. I don't think it was well made. It certainly was way overpriced. I don't know what the next combiner is. I've heard that it's going to be Silverbolt, but it's literally impossible to beat the Combiner War Silverbolt because it's that good. My Legacy Menasor is sturdy and nothing falls off. Sounds like you gotta, yeah, I guess, but like it's either not sturdy or too sturdy. It can't stand up. The lower legs don't stay on. The thighs are too short. I'm definitely going to end up breaking Wild Rider because he is terrifying to either put on or take off. And I mean terrifying. Like, he really doesn't fit. Breakdown does, not Wild Rider. You're right. Some people like trash. You're right, Jay. Just like the Legacy Menasor, because that's trash. You're right, buddy. I'm right there with you. I mean, if the Earthspark figures are sent to you or loaned to you, oh yeah, if they get in my hands, I'll review them, and maybe they'll be great. Maybe they'll be great because honestly, I thought that the deluxes for Cyberverse were great. I thought the 2015 RID line was inspired and gave us really interesting transformations. They might be great, but I just don't have the scratch to get the stuff I actually want and whatnot. I just don't have the scratch or the interest to go, dropping big coin like that on things that I don't have the space for and don't have the interest for. Really. And it's one thing to be able to use it for like giveaways and stuff too, right? Breakdown was released in the legacy packaging to be authentic to the other Stunticons. Yes, it was. Rocky Top. Interesting. Legacy is better than my CW. My CW falls apart and hardly stands. I don't know what's wrong with all you guys in your CW. Like, that's like a lot of people complain about the hips of the CW. I said 7 years ago. I don't understand people's complaints with the hips. They're fine. I've never had an issue with the hips. Of course, so you could have a bigger Omega Supreme. But like, how big is big enough? Like, my Titans are 2 feet. I can assure you I don't have room for 3 or 4 feet. If you do, cool. I'm happy that life has been kind to you to be abundant, but it would be ludicrous for me to have something that big. Plus, how in the hell do you handle that for transformation? Like, I don't want something that comes up to my chest and then I got to transform it. No thanks. I'm not going anywhere. I like the back and forth. Got a joke for, what? I got a joke for everyone? Is that a question, Blue Raccoon? Buckeye's a type of tree nut. Interesting. Got my SS Cheetor. Oh, nice. The other day and reviewed it on my channel. He's a hell of a lot of fun. Cool. Show Z Store sent me out a new studio cell. It's 4 hours away in Georgia. Oh, sells so good. Sells so good. So good. Oversized would make it on par with height. On par with what for height? Minosaur shouldn't be the size of uh, Omega Supreme. Devastator shouldn't be the size of Omega Supreme. Devastator comes up to, if you look at the animation, Devastator comes up to about the mid chest shoulder of Omega Supreme, which is why I have Wei Jiang's version of Omega Supreme, because the Combiner Wars Devastator comes up to about the right height. I don't want my combiners. They're combiners. They're not cities. I don't get it. You do you, but I don't get it. What do is a Transformers favorite shoe brand? Vans. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, what is a Transformers favorite shoe brand? Vans. I get it. I think it's so the combiners are bigger than the leaders. Not so much them to be the same size as Titans. I don't know. Most of my CW stuff falls apart. I personally never seen any CW stuff in any convincing dynamic poses. Watch Universal Collision. I've used a bunch of them a bunch of times. But I mean, like, people are saying this, but like, you can't put the Legacy Motormaster in any dynamic poses either. Thing falls over. It's too heavy. Unless you have that balanced exactly right. Like, the only reason he's staying up on my shelf now is because, and by the way, I was going to give him to one of the scraplets, but he's too tall because he is slightly taller than the Combiner Wars. He's too tall to fit onto the scraplet shelf, so he got to go up on mine. But the only reason he's staying stood up there is because his head hits the ceiling. Otherwise, I would have no faith that he's going to stay stood up. I thought Menosaur was as tall as Devastator Omega, but Devastator and Omega aren't the same height. Legacy makes him look like a shrimp. That's why oversized would hopefully make him more to scale. I guess your head scale, whatever works for you, man. I love my Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus, and he's currently standing on one leg, not falling over. Yeah, but I don't think they mean Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus. I think they meant the combiners, right? I used to be a big scale junkie, but started to more just care about the quality. I'd rather have RTS Jazz 286 because it's better in your opinion. RTS Jazz is better. RTS Jazz is still the gold standard of jazzes. Chinese retailers are starting to get Gabriel now. There you go. Like buy Legacy for the vehicle modes. Buy the oversized for Menosaur. Dude, so I meant that for private chat. I was listening to Bathroom That's Fair. As we go down here, and guys, I'm sorry if I'm missing some stuff, but I really want to get through the leaks and the unboxing and get out of here. Doesn't make sense to me why Menosaur is the same height as War for Cybertron Jetfire, because the War for Cybertron Jetfire is too big. Honestly, the War for Cybertron, the correct size for Jetfire was when he was released in the Generations Leader class. That's the right size for Jetfire. The War for Cybertron, I said it when I reviewed him. He's great. He's stupendous. He's too big, but he's stupendous. The opposite end of the scale, I have the smallest Omega McFan's Toys, Mini Sentry. Mini Sentry's so fun. He's so cute. I can easily get Legacy Menosaur into dynamic poses. Maybe it's a QC thing with yours, because mine is solid and it's very easy to get him looking dynamic. Haven't had him fall over once. Mine doesn't do anything but fall over. I 100% disagree with you, Nate. Everything you were saying about the Legacy is my Combiner Wars. I can do what I like with it, and he's solid as a tack. I've had him on one knee. I've had him holding other bots. I don't know how anybody's Combiner Wars one falls over. Just like you don't know how anyone's Legacy falls over. So we've just had opposite experiences. Like I said in the review, it depends on what you're looking for a Menosaur. One's not better than the other because both of them have their ups and downs. Changing the subject, waiting on a new age Jetfire. Can't wait. They're all still on Menosaur. I don't know why people feel like they need to try and convince me of something. When you know by now, guys, you're not going to. I'm as honest as the day. I'm probably the most honest guy on YouTube because I don't have an agenda and I don't have any reason to convince you different. If you like it, cool. If you don't, cool. But I'm not going to lie and say something is something because I don't believe it, right? I would want off-road repaint to break down. Are you considering getting Super 7 Unicron? No, not really. Again, I wouldn't get Super 7 anything. It doesn't really have any articulation, and if it doesn't have articulation, it's no good to me. I don't want something to just be on the shelf. If I can't use it in stop motion, it has no interest to me. On a subject on the stream, the new league listings are pretty interesting, which I'm trying to get to. I own the G1 Menosaur, and he falls over, and I still love him. I skipped that one. His nose is too long, and the wings jetpack is too far back. Magic Square has its issues. I don't like it. Oh God, Superion. Would you get G1 Retro Starscream and Hot Rod? Again, no interest. I mean, we have a G1 Starscream there. I don't like the character of Hot Rod. They are bricks. I can't animate them. No, I don't know. And I'm sure they're going to be expensive. But to be fair, though, Blue Raccoon, they're never, ever, 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 ever going to come here. We haven't had the retro reissues in 2 or 3 years. We really haven't. They're not going to come here. They're not going to show up on the shelf. So it's not even something I really need to worry about. I know it's not going to come here. They do look beautiful, though. If anybody's into the G1 stuff, get that Hot Rod and that Starscream, because that's the way to go. It's not for me, but it might be for you. That's the best way I can say about that. Same thing with the Menosaurs. The Legacy one, not for me. Not a fan. Don't really like it. Don't find it very good. It was grossly overpriced at here, $300. Like by the time you put it all in at regular price, I didn't pay regular price for it all. I got some of it on sale. But if you pay regular price for it all, it's over $300, and the thing can barely stand up. I'm sorry, it's not for me. My Combiner Wars Menosaur, that thing was $100. So even if it's not perfect, it's $100. Big whoop. Okay, let's go into the 2024 leaks. There's a whole bunch here. Let's do the red ones first, because why does red exist? G1 Sound Blaster, which I assume is going to be a repaint of their Soundwave, which I reviewed and I did not like at all. So if you did and you want the black and gray version, get Sound Blaster. G1 Grimlock, no idea if that's going to be robot or dinosaur, though I did hear it will be dino mode, but I don't take that for anything. It was just something I heard in passing. G1 Skywarp, which will be a repaint of their Starscream. Obviously, if you like their Starscream, then you'll probably like the Skywarp. And Prime Starscream to go with the Prime Megatron and Optimus. Why in God's name are you not putting a Krenix in here, or a Quintesson judge, or a prosecutor, or a scientist? Give me a Quintesson scientist. We don't have any Quintesson scientists. Put any of the Action Masters in this line. Why are you putting in Transformers that actually transform? Input talked about it too. Like, the line makes no sense to me. Let's talk about Studio Series. Studio Series, they said Mohawk from movie 5. Again, I have the little Dr. Wu one, and there's a couple of other ones out there. I'll be very interested to see Mohawk as a core class and how well it's pulled off. Movie 6 Rumble, whatever movie 6 Rumble is, I'm not sure what that is. Movie 6 Starscream. I mean, I guess maybe. For deluxes for Studio Series, Transformers 7 Scorponok. So is there going to be a Scorponok in the Rise of the Beast film? Very interesting entry there. Movie 6 Sunstreaker, War for Cybertron Sideswipe. If it's the High Moon Studio Sideswipe, if that's what it is, he needs to be redone. I had that Sideswipe. In fact, I used it, I think, in season 1 of Universal Collision. After that, the dude's arm broke off. It was a flawed design, and I heard about a lot of the arms of that mold breaking off. Needs to be redone more solidly, honestly. Nice looking car mode, Cybertronian car mode and stuff, though. I like that Sideswipe. I like that Jazz, too. But they really, really had poorly designed arms. At the Voyager size, War for Cybertron Starscream. Oh, yeah, I had all 3 of those deluxe Tetrajets. I was looking... Fun story. When I got back into collecting Transformers, I started off with the War for Cybertron Voyager Soundwave. And I got the Jazz, because I said it looked like Jazz. And I got the Shockwave, because I was like, that's the Shockwave I remember as a kid, basically. And then I actually got the deluxe Fall of Cybertron, Optimus is my first kind of mainline Optimus back. Great head sculpt. Terrible, terrible truck mode. The War for Cybertron 1, while more complex, was way better than the Fall of Cybertron 1. But then I realized that Starscream was out, and I hunted forever for Starscream. And I finally found him one day at a Walmart, the only time I ever saw him, and I got him. There were a nice few Thundercrackers around. I looked a year for Skywarp. Never showed up. From when he was supposed to release, I looked a year. You know when I finally got Skywarp? The only time I ever saw Skywarp was when we had Target. And he was there along with Rat Trap. And those two, that was the only time I ever saw them. And I saw one Voyager Brainstorm there. And that's the only time I ever saw him. That's why I missed Target. They had things that I only ever saw at Target. But taking that War for Cybertron Tetrajet Starscream and upsizing it to Voyager, yes, please. Why not? Do it. 86 Swoop. And then movie 6 Leader Megatron, even though movie 6 would be the Bumblebee movie, and there was no Megatron in it, unless they're going to do the Megatron from the cutscene for that movie, which they could be doing. So will that Megatron be from the cutscene, or some people have speculated that the movie 6 is a mislabeling of 86. So in relation to the Megatron, are we actually staring down the barrel, pardon the pun, of an 86 Megatron, or will this be an adaptation of the cutout scene from the Bumblebee movie with Megatron in it? Time will tell, but I think that's really super duper interesting to think about. Let's just check back with you guys here just for a few moments. My Computron and Superion from Combiner Wars are the two best combiners I got in Combiner Wars. I love my Computron. They all should have come with Computron's feet. Feels like 6 in one, half dozen in the other. I respect your opinion. I personally would want them painted as G1 versions of my OC Ice Cumber and Star Knight Storm. I don't know what that is either. I'm sorry. I completely forgotten Red was the thing. Me too. I haven't seen Red in a long time. I was surprised to see that there were more listings for it because I haven't seen that in 6 months, 7 months. Due to room and size, my two Titans are just going to be Omega and Debbie. That's fair. Fred still functions. Really enjoyed SS Fallen so much that I bought SS Jetfire to combine with Prime. Oh yeah, I forgot the Fallen was a thing. He never came here either. Alpha Trion, yes, Alpha Trion could be there. I don't know what Beta is, but okay. Transmutate, that could be in the red line too. Jay loves the Fallen. Jay loves everything. He's full of love. He has so much love in his heart. Brings that joy down in his heart. Down in his heart today. I hope Shockwave would be good as a core. Shockwave, I don't know. I don't get Shockwave as a core. There was a Bayverse Rumble who was a Rhino. I didn't know that. Really, I have a Bayverse Rumble that was a Rhino. Where did you get that from? I've never heard or seen that, Keldeo. Was that in a comic book? Is that some garbage IDW did? Really hoping all the War for Cybertron stuff is the game. Modern versions could be good, and a Voyager War for Cybertron Starscream would be amazing. I agree with you, Nate. I mean, we don't agree on the Menasor, but I agree with you there on all that. Absolutely. The Fall of Cybertron Deluxe Shockwave is so freaking good, man. It is. I still love that Shockwave. Not sure I have any War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron figures besides Optimus Prime and Megatron. The War for Cybertron Megatron is great. Really great. Shockwave, Starscream, and Kickback were standouts. You know what? I never got that Kickback, even though I saw him a few times, and I've always regretted it. I didn't get him because I was like, that's not the Kickback I remember, but I should have got him. I really should have got him. Studio Series Bumblebee Megatron would be interesting if true. I agree. I know Hasbro has been jacking 3P MP molds. Oh, yeah, they've been doing that for a little while now. A bit of Travis Knight idea brought to life. I would get a red transmutate in a heartbeat, says Waspinator. I hate Armada Starscream, says Jay. Don't know. I didn't even bother to get it. I've heard it's loose at the hips and stuff. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I've heard. Autobot Spike could be in red. Yes, Dragonfly. Autobot Spike in red. Yes, absolutely, it could be there. Any Transformers like Redline that don't transform should be called what? Shouldn't be called Transformers, and to me are a complete waste of money. No, that's not right, Brian, at all. Transformers is a brand. It's their race. Do you know the fiction of Action Masters? It was an energy source, and basically they lost their ability to transform because of this energy source that kept them alive. That's why they had machines that were created that could transform like vehicles and stuff, right? It's a brand and it's a species. It's not a function. We don't use like transforming to transform. That's a verb. Transformers is a noun. The Transformers. If you could put the little grammar lesson, guys. If you could put the word the in front of a word and it makes sense, it's a noun. The desk, the car, the roof. But you can't say the very. It's got to be the very something. Very is a word to describe something. You can't say the eating. That makes no sense. The running. That makes no sense. But you can say the Transformers because it's a noun describing their species, describing the brand. That's my take on it. So I can't say that they're a complete waste of money at all. Gotta pick up the wife. Yeah, take care, buddy. Maybe we should make the top 10 Transformers that belong in red. Maybe. Red is a great idea, but they're using the wrong characters. Yes, I agree with you. Cheesier. I think I'm saying it right. Cheesier. I agree. Yeah, it's a great idea, used the wrong way. Okay, so for 2024, Legacy Uni. I've heard that this is Universe. By the way, a few weeks ago, I broke Legacy SPA, and I've been asked if there were product codes for it. I have not been able to get product codes for it as of yet. I have heard that that will be a subline, like one of these, like Velocitron was a subline. I don't know. But Legacy Uni, I've heard is Legacy Universe, the third part of this trilogy. I don't know if that's true. But evidently, we will get, let's see, a leader Tigerhawk, a leader G1 Sandstorm. I hope that they're better leaders than the two triple changers that we've had because they were nothing great. Voyager Cyberverse. Or maybe it's Cybertron, Starscream, I'm not sure. Prime Thundertron, which I think is an interesting one to do. Animated Optimus Prime, we heard about. Beast Wars Silverbolt as a Voyager. Yes, make him a Voyager. And G2 Grimlock. So Voyager G2 Grimlock, I find that one a little hard to swallow because I feel like if they're going to do a G2 Grimlock, it'll be the Studio Series leader repainted. So I'm not sure, man. A G2 Grimlock Voyager, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure unless they're going to dive back into Power of the Primes. Now, those were ones we've heard before, okay? Those are ones that were leaked some time ago back in December. Here's the new ones this week. For the core class, Rock 1, whatever that is, Energon Megatron as a core, which I find weird. Beast Force Tasmanian Kid. Yeah, give me Tasmanian Kid. I will take a Tasmanian Kid for sure. I'm not into a lot of the cores, but I'll take me a Tasmanian Kid. For the deluxe class, Rescue Bots Chase, which I think would make Survive Fan happy. Cool. I mean, why not put in some Rescue Bots? It'll be interesting to see him G1ified, but we'll see. When I think of Chase, I think of the Throttle Bot. So to each their own. Rock 1 in deluxe as well, whatever that is. I've heard that it's Cyberverse Windblade. I'd be down for that. That's cool. That's a cool Windblade. G1 Gears, the previously canceled Gears, apparently coming in Legacy Uni in 2024. Sure Shot seems all but confirmed. I mean, these are rumors for now, but come on, we got to get a Sure Shot, right? We got the other two lads. I've heard Cyberverse Chromia. So Cyberverse Windblade and Cyberverse Chromia. Both of them were in Cyberverse. Cool. Why not? And Rock 2. So Rock 1, Rock 2. I don't know what those are. Take from that what You will. And that is all of the leaks. There's a lot to digest over the last 3 weeks. A lot of planning in terms of what to get, what not to get. A lot of planning of your spending dollars. Now, that being said, to get us out of here, because we've been here a long time, let's do the very quick unboxing, or well, the pickup, I should say, because it's already out. Tomorrow, we're going to look at the BDT Studios upgrade kit for Legacy Bulkhead. Very quick little review, very quick little easy review tomorrow. And then on Monday, we're going to do the countdown results for top 10 Army Builder bots. And last but not least, on Tuesday, we're going to take a look at Earthspark Twitch. I don't know why they call it Terran Twitch. We all know it's Twitch. And here she is. And I've heard good and bad. Mine sadly does have a scrape on the paint. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Tomorrow, for Patreon channel members, I'm going to do my first impressions of this. And then Tuesday, we'll do the full rundown and the full review for all of you. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it for another week. We are done. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we have to offer to you through Spring. Or, of course, you can hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, please. Stick around. Have some fun with us here on the channel. And especially don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single solitary day, you do make a difference in the world. Whether you know it or not, whether we agree or not, know that you matter and you make a difference in the world. And man, I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams right here on Thursday nights, at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way inside the videos.